Imagine reaching a point in life where I began to value solitude over constant company, peace over endless social obligations. For me, this wasn't about bitterness. It was a conscious choice to protect my time, energy, and peace. If you're navigating these changes or are curious about the reasons behind them, you're in the right place. In this video, I'll share why embracing fewer but more meaningful relationships has led to a richer, simpler life. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Wisdom Advice for more inspiring content. Let's start with the first and perhaps most eye-opening lesson: how time becomes more precious as we age. 1. Time becomes more precious. As I entered my 60s, I began to see time not as the endless resource I once believed it to be, but as something incredibly finite and profoundly precious. This realization didn't come with fear, but with wisdom, a clarity that only age can bring. Suddenly, every moment felt like a gift, urging me to be more deliberate about how I spent it, and more importantly, who I spent it with. When I was younger, time seemed infinite. I'd waste hours on obligations I didn't enjoy, shallow conversations, or relationships that didn't nourish me. Back then, it was easy to say yes to everything, believing there would always be time to focus on what truly mattered. But now I see those hours as moments I can never reclaim. That understanding has transformed how I live each day. These days, I find joy in the smallest things: a quiet morning coffee, the sound of birds outside my window, or a heartfelt talk with someone who truly understands me. Even simple moments, like a walk in the park or watching the sunset, now carry a significance I never noticed before. Time isn't just hours ticking on a clock, it's the foundation of a meaningful life. This shift isn't about regret, it's about intentionality. I've learned to ask myself, does this bring me joy? Is this worth my energy? If the answer is no, I let it go. Life is too short to spend on anything that doesn't align with my values. Every sunrise is a reminder to make my hours count. And as I've come to treasure time, I've realized that not every relationship is worth maintaining, a truth that has reshaped how I view connections. This brings us to the next realization: how relationships naturally evolve as we grow older. 2. Relationships evolve. As I've grown older, one of life's most profound lessons has been this: not all relationships are meant to last forever, and that's perfectly okay. In my younger years, I believed that holding on to every friendship or connection was a sign of loyalty and strength. I showed up for everyone, remembered every occasion, and stretched myself thin to maintain ties. But with time, I've realized that relationships, like life, are ever-changing. Our priorities and values shift as we age, and not everyone in our lives evolves in the same way. Some relationships nurture and uplift us, while others leave us feeling drained or unappreciated. It's not about blaming or holding grudges. It's about understanding that growth sometimes means growing apart. Letting go of connections that no longer align with who I am today has been one of the most liberating decisions of my life. Now, I cherish the relationships that feel mutual, where there's balance, respect, and genuine care. These are the connections that fill my days with joy and light. The friends and family who remain in my life are the ones who truly matter, those who bring out the best in me and value my time and energy as much as I value theirs. This isn't about isolating myself, it's about making space for authenticity. By letting go of what no longer serves me, I've discovered a deeper appreciation for the relationships that do. Even memories of past connections, though bittersweet, are reminders of the lessons they taught me and the person they helped me become. As I've refined my circle, I've also come to realize another vital truth: trust becomes more nuanced with time. 3. Trust becomes more deliberate. As I've grown older, I've come to see trust as one of the most valuable and fragile gifts we can offer. In my younger years, I gave it freely, believing in the goodness of people and assuming that most had the best intentions. But time and experience have taught me otherwise. While my openness brought beautiful connections, it also left me vulnerable to betrayals that left deep scars. Now I approach trust with greater care. This isn't about bitterness or suspicion. It's about understanding its worth. Trust is a bond that requires consistency and respect, and I've learned to give it only to those who earn it. This shift hasn't been easy. It's taken years of reflection, moments of disappointment, and the courage to walk away from relationships that felt one-sided or harmful. One of the most profound lessons I've learned is to trust myself. In the past, I often ignored my instincts, dismissing gut feelings as paranoia or overthinking. But those instincts are my inner compass, guiding me through life's complexities. Now, if something doesn't feel right, I pay attention. I've learned to listen to that quiet voice that urges caution, knowing it's there to protect my peace. This deliberate approach to trust doesn't mean closing myself off. On the contrary, it's allowed me to cultivate deeper, more meaningful connections. By setting boundaries, not walls, I've made space for people who genuinely value and respect me. Trust, when nurtured with care, becomes a source of emotional safety and strength. It reminds me that protecting my well-being isn't selfish, it's necessary. As I've refined who I trust, I've also discovered the beauty of simplifying life, a lesson that has brought profound clarity and joy. 4. The joy of simplicity. In today's fast-paced world, life can feel overwhelmingly busy. Constant notifications, endless to-do lists, and the pressure to keep up with it all. But as I've grown older, I've found myself longing for simplicity, a return to what feels real and meaningful. It's not about rejecting progress or resisting change. It's about choosing where to focus my energy. I've realized that simplicity brings clarity and peace. By decluttering my life, letting go of unnecessary responsibilities, superficial relationships, and even material possessions, I've created room for what truly matters. A heartfelt conversation with a loved one, the gentle rustle of leaves on a quiet walk, or simply sitting in the stillness of a sunny morning. All of these moments now hold a richness I never fully appreciated before. Simplifying life doesn't mean giving up on ambition or connection. It means shifting from quantity to quality. I no longer feel the need to fill my days with endless activities or social gatherings. Instead, I prioritize the things that nourish my spirit and align with my values. This shift has been deeply liberating. I've let go of the pressure to meet others' expectations and embraced the freedom to define happiness on my own terms. The world may be louder and busier than ever, but I've learned that it's okay to step back and protect my peace. Simplicity has given me the space to savor life's small joys, ones that often go unnoticed in the rush of modern living. And in doing so, I found a deeper connection to myself and the people I hold dear. This newfound simplicity also led me to another transformative realization. Solitude is not the same as loneliness. 5. Solitude as a gift. For much of my life, I believed that being alone was something to avoid, a sign of loneliness or isolation. But as I've grown older, I've discovered the profound beauty of solitude. It's not about being lonely. It's about choosing quiet moments to recharge, reflect, and reconnect with myself. Solitude offers something that constant social interaction cannot: clarity. In the stillness, I've found the space to think deeply, to appreciate the lessons of my past, and to focus on what truly matters. It's in these moments that I've uncovered what brings me joy, peace, and fulfillment. Solitude has become a sanctuary where I can process life's challenges and celebrate its blessings without distraction. This isn't to say I've withdrawn from people. In fact, solitude has enhanced my relationships. By spending time alone, I've learned to value the time I share with others even more. Conversations feel richer, connections deeper, because I approach them with a full heart and clear mind. Solitude has taught me the importance of being present, both with myself and with those I care about. It's also helped me let go of the fear of missing out. I no longer feel the need to attend every event or say yes to every invitation. Instead, I've embraced the freedom to prioritize what aligns with my values and well-being. Choosing solitude is not about shutting the world out. It's about inviting peace in. It's a gift we often overlook, but once embraced, it becomes a source of strength, self-awareness, and balance. This journey towards solitude also revealed an essential truth. Stepping back from certain relationships is sometimes necessary for peace and growth. 6. Why avoiding some people is necessary. For much of my life, I believed that maintaining every relationship, no matter how draining, was a sign of loyalty and kindness. I attended every gathering, returned every call, and went out of my way to keep connections alive, even when they left me feeling exhausted. But as I've grown older, I've come to understand that avoiding certain people isn't selfish. It's self-care. Life has a way of teaching us where to draw the line. Over the years, I've encountered people who brought more negativity than joy into my life, those who thrived on drama, never reciprocated care, or constantly drained my energy. I used to ignore the signs, thinking it was my duty to hold on to those relationships. But now, I see things differently. Stepping away from toxic or unbalanced relationships has been one of the most liberating decisions I've ever made. By letting go of people who don't align with my values, I've created space for peace and happiness. This isn't about resentment or blame, it's about choosing to protect my well-being. Prioritizing my mental and emotional health has allowed me to focus on the connections that truly matter, those built on mutual respect, understanding, and joy. The relationships I nurture now feel effortless, bringing light into my life rather than weighing me down. Avoiding some people doesn't mean shutting myself off from the world. It's about valuing myself enough to say no to negativity and yes to what uplifts me. In doing so, I've found freedom, clarity, and a deeper sense of fulfillment. Interestingly, this choice is not unique to me. It's a shared experience for many who embrace this stage of life. 7. A shared journey. Entering this stage of life often feels like a deeply personal transformation. The choices we make to prioritize peace, focus on meaningful relationships, and let go of what no longer serves us can seem like solitary decisions. But the truth is, this journey is far from unique. The more I talk to friends and peers, the more I realize that this shift is something we all share in our own way. Many of us reach a point where we no longer feel the need to meet everyone's expectations. The drive to please others or maintain superficial connections fades, replaced by a desire for authenticity. It's not about isolating ourselves, but about redefining how we connect, choosing depth over breadth in our relationships. What I've found most comforting is the sense of camaraderie among those of us who have embraced this change. In conversations with others, I've heard echoes of my own thoughts. The joy of spending time with people who truly matter, the relief of saying no without guilt, and the peace that comes from simplifying life. These shared experiences remind me that I'm not alone, and neither are you. This stage of life is not about loss, but growth. It's about stepping into a new chapter with clarity and intention, supported by a community of like-minded individuals who understand the value of living authentically. By prioritizing what truly matters, we create space for deeper connections and a greater sense of fulfillment. With these shared lessons and experiences, the road ahead invites us to embrace simplicity and savor the richness of a well-lived life. 8. Embracing this chapter. Turning 60 isn't about reaching the end of something, it's the start of a beautiful new chapter. This stage of life brings with it a unique freedom, the freedom to live authentically, to focus on what truly matters, and to let go of the expectations that no longer define us. Looking back, I see my life as a tapestry of experiences, some joyful, some painful, but all meaningful. Every success, every challenge, and even every mistake has shaped the person I am today. Reflecting on those moments isn't about clinging to the past, it's about appreciating the lessons and growth they've brought. But this chapter isn't just about looking back, it's about looking forward. There's still so much to create, discover, and experience. Whether it's trying a new hobby, nurturing a garden, or simply taking time to savor a quiet sunrise, this stage offers countless opportunities to find joy in the everyday. Living intentionally has become my guiding principle. I no longer feel the need to chase after more or measure my worth by society's expectations. Instead, I find fulfillment in simple pleasures. Laughter shared with loved ones, the warmth of the morning sun, or the peace of a quiet evening. This stage is also about letting go of toxic relationships, unnecessary obligations, and anything that no longer serves my well-being. In doing so, I've found a profound sense of freedom and clarity. Embracing this chapter is about gratitude for what's been and excitement for what's still to come. It's about living with purpose, savoring each moment, and creating a life that feels true to who I am. Let this be a time of simplicity, joy, and authenticity. A chapter that celebrates not just how far we've come, but how much there is still to live for. Life after 60 is not an ending, but a new beginning. A chance to focus on what truly matters, meaningful connections, inner peace, and living with intention. It's about embracing simplicity, cherishing the small joys, and letting go of anything that no longer serves you. This stage is an opportunity to prioritize quality over quantity, creating a life filled with authenticity and gratitude. If this message resonates with you, share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe to Wisdom Advice for more inspiring content. Together, let's make this chapter the most rewarding and fulfilling one yet.